What is going on, y'all? Y'all, we made it to the end of the season. Okay, we are here at episode 7. I can't believe it. We are here. Y'all, I want to say just really quick, thank you for watching this season. It has been a blast to be with you, to have these conversations and hearing all of your feedback. So thank you for that. This conversation is with somebody who is very near and dear to my heart. We are having a conversation about distractions. We know that on our journey to becoming our best selves, there are going to be a lot of things in the way between where we are now and where we want to be. The question is, are you going to let those distractions keep you there? Please enjoy this conversation with myself and my good friend, Mitch. Enjoy the show. All right, y'all. What is going on? Welcome to the Golden Hour with Rose Golden. I am your host, Rose Golden, and today I'm already geeking. I'm already crying. I'm already really excited for this episode. I am joined by Mitch from marketing. It's going to be an amazing, amazing episode that I'm really excited for. But first, before we get into it, how you doing? How you feeling? Let me know.
I'm gonna take from what you told me earlier and not say good or have an automated response. I'm present. Like, I'm in the room, man. I've been trying to do my best to be in the room wherever I'm at, you know?
Right.
So I'm there, I'm present. So that comes with a little bit of, happiness, a little bit of I'm good, but realistically, I'm present in the room.
I love that. And just briefly, what he's talking about is that I noticed that when we're asking people, how are you? It became a greeting and not a question. So I challenge those around me that when you're being asked that question or when you ask it, to give an actual answer and an actual feeling. So thank you for that. Okay. So I know I didn't tell you anything what we're going to be talking about today, but I just felt really called / it made sense to talk about this topic with you. So today we're talking about distractions, okay? Mm-hmm. So specifically with the whole theme of the show is that we're all kind of in this cocoon phase, on our way to success. Yeah. And there are a lot of things that are going to come in our way that are distracting. So like just to have the conversation about what it means to be distracted or, to work with these distractions. So, but before we get into that also, I want y'all to know a little bit about Mitch, okay? So Mitch from marketing is a marketing consultant, an experiential marketer for regional artists and small businesses. You evaluate and improve interaction between brands and customers through event planning and ideation.
Yes.
And I feel like overall, one thing that you do really, really well is that you are a really strong community builder. Like that, I feel like is one thing that I know very, very, very well about you is that you're gonna build a damn community.
Right, so. Build a tribe. That's a fact. That's a big fact.
Yeah, yo. But marketing is your thing. So like, was that something that you always knew that you wanted to do, or did you kind of like stumble upon it?
Well, marketing wasn't the initial major or whatever. It was a dual major in accounting and finance.
Really?
Yeah, and I was working through it, and I hated it because it's automated. It's like the same thing. Like you're showing up to do the same numbers, crunch the same numbers, and it gets repetitive. So I was like in the middle of like, I don't want to go to school no more. Like I was just in that space. I'm trying to figure out how not to quit. I was doing it for my parents, doing it for the community, doing it for the kids that's looking up to me. And I was like, I can't quit, but I also can't keep doing this. So I ended up going to the CAP Center. Those are the people that help you find your major or help you with, certain things within your major. And it's only like 1 or 2 black people ever on. But the one black lady that I came to, I just flat out asked me, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. And I was like, damn, I had to sit with that for like a few weeks. Like, I don't know what I want to do. I just want to get a degree, make my parents happy. And then she was like, no. What do you want to do? Like, you personally. And within them 3 weeks, I did some self-work. And she was just like, think about what you naturally do. your day to day. And at school, we were throwing events for the for the Black community. Rowan is a PWI, so a lot of the programming is not necessarily in for us. So we started to do programming, and I was like, damn, I like throwing events. I like bringing people together. I like curating things. And then it just took me from there where I was like, okay, this is what I like to do. And she was like, have you thought about marketing? And I was like, let's look that up. And she showed me like the whole breakdown of what marketers do. And at that time, it was more sales oriented, but she was telling me like the digital marketing factor that was coming along and all that stuff, and event marketing that was coming along. And I was like, I'll change it. And I changed my major. So that's how I kind of got started.
Wow. Having guys like that really like ask you questions, I call them earth angels, because I'm just like, without you, because like if you didn't have that conversation, if you didn't have that person that asked you that question, like would you still be in accounting, or would you have chosen something else, you know?
I would have left.
I would have been
out of there.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I feel like, so shout out to whoever.
Yes. I wish I would, I see these interviews when people know the specific names. I wish I knew her name, but I don't.
Word. Okay. So with this stage in your career where you're at, I really believe like there's a very fine line between exploring new things and then distractions.
Right.
So for you at this stage of your career, are you taking just kind of any client, or do you feel like you're being really intentional and specific with the clients that you choose to work with?
I'm super intentional now more than ever. And I went through the stages of, like, oh, you need help, or your friend calling you and telling you, hey, my cousin's starting this and he need help, right?
Yeah,
and I learned that I don't want to work for anybody, and that's like a finite statement. It's not if the right thing comes along, I'll get behind it. Yes, I will be in full support, but as far as me consulting and doing like business development or helping with marketing, a lot of it is me trying to sustain your company, right? Teach you how to sustain your company. So the people I do get now, a lot of my clients are just based off of like at the first interaction. We do that one free phone call, and I really let them talk and like, get it out and what's their struggles and stuff like that, and what they're really looking for. Not just, hey, I need help. Yeah, we know you need help, but like, what do you need help with? And then from there, I just kind of utilize that information to see whether I want to. But we do one project. So we do the first project, and based off of how we work together, it is like a 2-week assessment where we assess each other. I'm not just assessing you because you might not like my work style, or I might not like the way you commit to things or don't commit to things. So I've just gotten to that place where I made sure like, hey, in this project, it's a 2-week assessment where I'm going to ask things of you, and I need you to ask things of me. And if you need things clarified, we work from there. And if we don't have a compatible relationship, it's just not going to work.
Because I know that you're very, involved in your community, and you often support, small businesses, and specifically Black small businesses. So do you find that your clientele is like more so in that region, or are you just like, as long as we work together and have good chemistry, then that's kind of how I say yes to a project?
It's us first, 1,000%. It's us first. It's because I know the lack of opportunity, right? Like a lot of what I did through COVID was like get my clients grants, get my clients into opportunities where like, whether it's a pitch competition and it's like, oh, here's $1,000 at the end of it, or here's some, mentor help. I'm really just trying to find the resources because it's a lack thereof. So I don't really like, not to say I don't really like working with everyone else, but I just know that a lot of our small businesses need to be built up a little bit more, right? Especially in our communities, like in the Camdens and the Trentons and the Atlantic cities and the Newarks and the Jersey cities. I think we really need to tap in with like sustaining those companies so we can build more, because we have like a real one-track way of seeing business. And it could be 10 people doing the same thing, and we don't integrate. It's no competition there,
right?
So
kind of switching gears to like social media, because we see a lot of people that are doing the same things today, but in terms of, if we're talking about like experiences, we're talking about doing events, our ability to connect now has been shifted a little bit because of social media. So in your opinion, especially thinking about last year and what happened with the pandemic. It's like a trigger word now. Like I don't want to use it, but do you feel like social media is helping or hurting our ability to like truly connect?
Social media is a weird place, right? And I'm a marketer,
right?
And I'm not supposed to say those things. I'm supposed to be like this social marketing guru and all that. Depending on who you are, right, and how you use it, it is very useful, right? If you start to believe in social media as your only communication link, or you start to like give it a little bit too much, like almost idolize it, and that's what's happening. I think that people fail to realize that it was other marketing before social media came out, right? Guerrilla marketing always is number one before anything, right? Calling someone and being like, "Hey, Rosie, this is what I'm doing. Can you pull up?" Right? You text me and you told me to come to this interview, right? Versus like, let me send you this thing on social media, and it's a real way to communicate, and it's not a bad thing. It's just a two-sided sword, and I don't want to speak bad on it because it's a lot of people's businesses that are built around social media, and it is sustaining a lot of our community also. But it's a dark side to social media also that I don't really implement into my clients at all. Yeah.
Like what about it do you not implement?
A lot of my clients, well, just a lot of people in general, have like anxiety built around using social media, creating content and stuff like that, right? And I've just been lately telling them that you need to have like a personality check first before you even touch your social media. Right? So like, if you are not DJ Khaled, do not pick that style of marketing on social media.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be all up in the cameras and all that, don't be. There are perspectives to social media that need to happen that I think people need to understand. If you're like quiet and you're somebody that is tapped in, within you, but you don't really want to be in front of the camera, it's a style of marketing for social media for that, right? Where you don't have to go live every day and do all these things that they tell you to do in these little, PDFs and all these downloadable items. You can really be yourself on social media. And it's for your business. You can use your personality to steer how you market your business. So if you are somebody that is like an introvert, you can have an introverted style. And that's what I teach my clients. Don't go kill yourself. Don't go drain your battery every day just to go post on and get 5 new followers. You can go this way. And they'll be sitting there like, oh, I didn't even think about it like that.
Right. And I feel like it's so easy now with the amount of different personalities and brands and people that we have on social media to get caught up in that. And like you said, to try to be that person. And I just feel like there's another fine line between producing and consuming, where if you're somebody who's constantly consuming, how is it that you're going to produce, as your own authentic self?
Right.
And that's something I feel like a lot of people are getting caught up in right now. It's like, okay, like how do I be the best? I don't know, like you said, DJ Khaled.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So no, I 100% feel that. And I think too with social media is that it's making everything really accessible. Not just social media, but just in general. Everything is super accessible right now.
Right.
You can go to YouTube University and you can learn just about anything. Or you can also, get a certification for something. But in terms of like consuming content for you as a marketer, like it is important for you to kind of stay in the know with things so you can help out your clients. What is your balance with consuming content and producing the results?
Books still work, bro. Like, I'm not going.
Books still work. This we on a shirt, yo.
I can't even sit and lie to you. Books still work, and we get away from it because a lot of people are like chopping and screwing a lot of that information and then putting it in video form, which I love them because people learn differently.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I balance it. YouTube is another wonderful place, Skillshare and all of these other brands that do have classes for learning specific things, but also intent on what you're learning and why you're learning it, right? Because some people are like pivoting, some people are doing like reactionary business, which is very dangerous. And to explain what reactionary business is, it's like, ooh, I just saw Mitch do this. Now I'm going to go do that, right? It's a reaction to business versus like, I know how to do A, B, and C really well. How do I get the information around that to make this strong? Which, it's a dangerous space as of now. But for me, learning, I would read a book. And I would use YouTube, and I would use the text as like main source, and then I would use social media as supplementary. Because some of those books have been written a long time ago. Some of them are new, and they're redoing some of these books where it's like 15 to 30 different people writing one book, and they're just putting these creative inputs in, and you're reading through it, and it's not reading like a book. It's like case studies, and so you're learning so many different ways. You do have to tap into as many different ways as possible, because it's not just social media.
Right.
And it's getting dangerous because it's a lot of like marketing gurus and business gurus and wellness gurus, and it's perfectly fine. Nothing against them, but we got to be careful with how noisy we get with our information. Download this. This is going to save your life. And I'm like, no, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's not at all.
But that's where I'm at.
So, like, what are 3 of your top books that you're reading right now?
I want to say, I think it's Creative Business Modeling is one book. I wish I had the information on me. I don't do well with like titles and stuff like that. I just read into books. U99 has like some crazy.
I feel like that was the one I was thinking of when you mentioned like a bunch of different names.
So that's the new style of book writing now. So it's just like collaborative. I don't even know it was just like collaborative writing, where like collaborative concepts. This is my concept, and this is from my team, and we input it into this book. And it's like 30 people on the book. So like U99, they have crazy, all of their stuff is crazy. The creative business modeling is something I look at. And I have another book. I wish I could go into my phone, but I can't. It's like 100 case studies of like companies from the UK. And this is like in the beginning of the companies. So Airbnb is in the book.
How I Built This? How I Built This? Oh, okay.
This is like some doctorates type book.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, but they give you like the breakdown of each company, their business model, and I'm gonna give you the information. I'm gonna get it to you. So hopefully you can post it like as some sub content or something like that.
Right, yeah.
But like that book is like literally, whenever I get a new client, the first homework I give them is to like read. Like I give them 3 case studies from that book to read, just so they can understand like when you model your business the perfect way. Like the exact way you're supposed to model it, you don't have to do any work.
Not at all. And I think that's something that I personally am shifting away from, is that I would kind of look to social media for inspiration, but also for education too. And it's like, there are a lot of things on social media you have to fact check. Like there are a lot of things that people are just kind of saying that is not actually true. So recently I have found that I'm just like, let me just go to the basics. Go back to this. So the book I mentioned, How I Built This by Guy Raz, it's not a collaborative book, but it is about a bunch of different like stories, basically like about how other entrepreneurs had like built their business. So wait, are you also still doing your every 24 hours?
Yeah, I'm about to drop a new one.
Yeah.
Definitely. See, look, you're about to have me giving it up on camera.
Oh, yeah.
I got some, no. I got another every 24 hours, but we repositioned it. It's still a playlist, but it's also going to be like a challenge, like it was before, the same challenge, but we're going to actually market it this time. Before, it was just me sharing the playlist and telling everybody else that, this is your 24 hours. Like, your 24 hours. Like, go. So we do this thing where we hoard, right? Whether it's a playlist, whether it's our pictures, whether it's whatever. We do this thing where we hoard our art. We hoard that thing that people want from us, right? And we're scared to share it because it's like, but this is the only thing that, like keeps me saying indoors. And then it piles up and then it becomes a hoard, where then it's like, I don't even know where to start to get this shit out. So what ends up happening is like we get into those spaces, we get into that. And so every 24 hours is just like simplicity. 24 hours, like put it out. Whatever you want to put out, whatever, if it's some random pictures you took, put it out, right? Use the hashtag, share it with the community that's using the hashtag, and that's it. So for me, I was doing like, I got so much music playlisted.
Yeah.
I have like a horde playlist. I have like a whole bunch of other stuff. And it was just like, yo, let me just pick 10. And I would literally pick 10 the night before and then drop it that next morning. And then pick 10 the night before and just get the list. So me sharing it is crazy because like 10, 15 people jumped on that hashtag and got to it. And I was like, you know, if it allowed you to let some photos go or some audio go or whatever it is, you know, do that.
Yeah.
You know, to get some like mental freeness, to get a reaction that you might have needed. Somebody might interact with that photo and be like, oh my
I needed
God.
that,
you mean?
right? No, I 100%. Yo, that has been a common theme over the past few weeks, I'll say, is like, just put it out. Just freaking put it out. Like, I have been experiencing so much anxiety recently about posting because I haven't done it over the past like year. So now that I'm back to it, it's like, damn, like, I don't know what to post, you know, yada, yada, yada. And I posted the other day and I was like, yo, this is dumb. Like, no one's gonna like this. And I got so many just like, yo, I needed this. Like, yo, thank you for posting this. And again, these are just like random pictures I had in my camera roll. And like you said, I've been hoarding.
Right.
But I put it out and I made it into like a story. And then people were like, yo, like, thank you. Like, honestly, thank you. So I'm definitely a hoarder.
I don't want to, so I guess I got to turn the interview on you. So
Okay.
it's crazy because outside looking in, right? We don't have the outside. We don't understand the outside perception of us, right? But outside looking at you, I would never receive that you're a hoarder of whatever, right? Because whenever you put it out, I'm like, oh my God, that's so good. Like you could probably go, you know, do content for somebody else if they needed it. And you're somebody that comes to mind when I'm talking to my clients and stuff like that. So like, where does it stem from? Like, where does that anxiety around putting out stem from?
So you mentioned like perfectionism earlier, and I'll say that like I am a super perfectionist, super, and it's crazy because I didn't realize until literally this year that I'm not perfect. Like, and that's not attainable.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's actually really crazy that I was like I learned something new that like like I have flaws, and I'm not perfect, and I'm not ever going to be, but that's okay. Like that's the point.
Right.
None of us are perfect. So I would say that I would also say like I feel this pressure because like I am consistently inconsistent.
Right.
Okay. So what I do is I will, you know, do this big project and then I'll, you know, have a plateau and I won't do anything.
Right.
And I'll do a big project and I'll let it plateau and I won't do anything. So I felt like last year I just had to like shut everything down, focus on myself, focus on graduating, and just like I was like I can't deal with this. I can't deal with posting right now. I also felt really overwhelmed with what was happening. So I was just like I just can't be on social media right now.
Right.
So now like coming back into it, I just feel this pressure to like top what I did before. And because like I understand the weight that my content holds for a lot of people, and it's like it feels like anytime I put something out I do get those like, oh, I needed this, you know, kind of reactions. So it's just making sure that like I'm posting from a place of, you know, heart and not
genuine.
ego. Yeah, you know, because it's like I very much so could post every day if I wanted to.
Right.
And I could make content, you know, trendy content if I really wanted to. But that's not me. And it's like every time I post, I'm just like, yo, God, like, what do they need to hear? And then that's kind of how it goes. So it's like, it's a lot of just getting out of my own head, getting out of my own way, and just being like, if you're showing up as yourself, if you're showing up authentically, if you're showing up, you know, from your heart, then it's like, then what are you worried about? So yeah, thank you for that question. That was, you know, talking some things out, you know.
Gotta get it out. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I have that issue. Like I have, because I got these ideas. Like I wake up and be like, oh my God, not another idea. Like it's almost, I wouldn't say it's a burden because that's, you know, that's not having gratitude, but like it almost burdens me that I have so many and they're not being activated, right?
Yeah.
And a friend of mine came up to me and was just like, yo, we need those events, bro. We need, like, not just to be for outside sake. It's a certain way you put these things together that everyone is not doing it with the same care and love of like tribe building and putting the right people in the building. And I had to receive that. Even the homies called, like, you know, the people I used to work with as far as Suits Lifestyle, Shanks and Aaron, they called me and kind of got on me about like, yo, when we was doing Suits, like, we just never could be 100% consistent, even though it looked consistent from the outside. Inside, we were bickering because of that. Like, we would get this crazy event off, we would do an art battle, and then, you know, you would enjoy posting the pictures, doing all this, but we wouldn't come right back with it. And I had to kind of turn the focus, right? I had to change my focus from like, instead of being so micro and zoomed in, macro, right? What is the bigger concept? And what that helped me do was like understand that these artists need a space to perform. People need a space to attend, to socialize. Human interaction is like key, is number one, right? So within everything I did, once I found my focus point, it was just like, all right, let's get to it.
Right. And even, you know, you talking about how you tell your clients specifically, like, look, if this is not you, then please don't post like that. Like, people need a marketing consultant that's going to do that, because we have so many already that are like, oh yeah, you got to post, you know, every day and yada yada, and just make sure that you're loud and about. And it's like, no, like, you're like, no, lead from the heart. What do you do? And then do that thing.
Right.
So yeah, no, I 100% feel that. And it's like, I don't think that we realize how important the things that we create are. Right. Like, when we get the download, you know, imposter syndrome is going to come up, doubts come up. And I think if there's anything that with, you know, the theme of this episode is that, like, these distractions need to go because the world needs you. Right. Needs you in your craft, you know? And then on this journey of producing this, there are going to be a lot of things that we have to let go of and that we have to sacrifice on this. So for you, what are some things that you either have already sacrificed on this journey or are willing to sacrifice?
That's a great question. The first thing I've sacrificed already was my job. I was working with, I hate saying at-risk youth, but I was working with youth in a recidivism program. And I loved the job. I loved taking care of the kid. I loved coming up with programs. I was doing, like, getting photographers to teach them photography, DJs to teach them how to DJ, all of these things to build their toolkits, right? And I just saw how I wasn't being helped by the administrators. And I was like, damn, like, I think that's a no-brainer. So I just cut them off. Once I quit my job this time around, in August, it was this thing of like almost like 300 pounds being lifted off of me, right? And I think I was sacrificing to get before that. I was sacrificing my time, right? So I was doing 8 hours of being at work, right? And then it'll spill over, maybe 9 hours, maybe 10. I'll get off work, finish my paperwork, drive home. By the time I get home, that's 10 hours consumed, 11 hours consumed. And then it's like, all right, I have to sleep to get to work tomorrow, right? And I started to cater my day to my job and not cater my day to Mitchell Marketing. So that was the first sacrifice. And once I did that, me getting my 40 hours back, it opened this crazy door of how do I transition that into, like, for me, you know what I mean? Yeah, because, you know, when you work at a job, they compartmentalize your position and they put the blinders on you so you only see what your job is, right? You don't see that your job falls into this job, that falls into this job. And if you're not sharp enough to be in the building and sponge that up, you kind of just doing your job, right? And then we go above and beyond for our job, so we start to do other people's jobs in those spaces. So then when we do get a chance to work on our stuff, it's hard. Yeah. It's like tiresome. It's like, dang, I got to do this for myself, right? And then we take on this concept that we have to do all of it ourselves, which, you know, it's something that we have to, like, undo. But us working in, like, these many tribes of, like, hey, I need somebody that edits. I need somebody that shoots. I need somebody that does graphic design. And yes, I don't have $1 million for the whole crew, but let's figure this out and let's all get behind it and see where the monetary value is. Yeah. And or whatever your monetary is not always meaning money, right? But like, hey, I got 3 hours to spend with that, which makes things easier. And people like me, I need help, right? And I'm blessed enough now more than ever to say, like, I need help. So me sacrificing like my job, me sacrificing like getting on social media for 8 hours in a day and all that nonsense. And your phone tells you these things, which is a good thing and a bad thing. But the good part about it is being able to see that, like, at one point in time, I would be on social media for 6 hours.
6 hours.
And I was like, when?
What did I do? And then you leave that feeling like crap, feeling like you didn't do nothing, you know? So I feel like if I were to answer, like, what was one thing that I sacrificed was, like, the overthinking and the doubt. Like, I'm someone who, I'm a planner. I'm an organizer, but sometimes I plan so much that nothing gets done.
Right.
So I have had to be like, okay, so if we want to get these things done, what are some things that we need to do in order to push through that?
Right.
So it's like, all right, let's make sure that we are getting rid of or almost unlearning all of the, you know, doubt and just like overthinking that we would constantly do. So in this journey of sacrificing as well, there is a lot of things that we have to unlearn. We were raised a certain way, and we were taught by, you know, our parents, our teachers, our guardians, whoever, you know, to be a certain way. And it could have been in great, you know, with great intentions, but often it left us, like I said, with anxiety, with depression, with doubt, with fear. In your journey, what is one main thing that you have had to unlearn?
Don't do it by yourself. Like, and make sure clarity within a project or within a space that you're in, right? I would go into these things with my heart full and ready, and then at the end I'll be let down and like my heart is empty, right? So I learned, I guess, I unlearned to like stop just going into things head first and kind of pick why I'm doing things, right? A lot of my unlearning is like you said, things from the household. Like, you know, I grew up in a Nigerian household, and you know, my parents don't do it on purpose, but my mom, you know, she kind of leads with fear. So she'll like have fear about something, and then she'll like get you caught up in it. And you'd be like, damn, am I fearful of that?
Right.
And I noticed that I'm kind of the opposite of my mom when it comes to that, because I'm not really fearful of a lot of things. So I had to unlearn this being safe thing that she kind of instilled in me from like being a baby to now. Like damn, she really beat, you know, being safe in my head, which would stop me from going out sometimes, which would stop me from like taking on opportunity, because I was almost like cemented where I was at. Versus like now, I'll be like, yo, I'm going to Denver for 2 weeks, or I'm going to New Orleans for 2 weeks, or I'm going to Detroit for 2 weeks, or, you know what I'm saying? I want to go check out the art scene. It's an art gallery there I want to go see. I want to go bump into a few people, get some phone numbers, and keep in contact, stretch my network. It's really that. It's really unlearning like the fear that your parents taught you. Unlearning like some of those mindsets that your parents taught you. So yeah.
Okay. No, thank you for that. But you just mentioning kind of like all the different cities. So kind of jumping off to it, because I just saw that you got like excited about, you know, traveling. Is that something that you see yourself doing for like the different events that you put on, like going city to city?
That's the goal. Okay. That's the big goal.
Okay.
So my traveling goal, I know people just want to like sporadically travel. I really want to explore cities, right? Because I'm a lister. I'm somebody that's going to have like, wherever I go, I'm going to have a long list of like places to eat, places to go see art, human interaction spots. Or I want to go to, you know, the MoMA or the NOMA or wherever, right? So within that, I think I travel now, and I got this from 4 Hour Work Week. Yeah, it's a book, really good book too. Repositioning my hours. So like, I want to spend 1 month a year somewhere else, right? And it's crazy, it sounds crazy. Some people are like, yo, you can't do it or whatever. But for me, it's like at this point in time, even with COVID has allowed even my friends that have jobs that work from home indefinitely to pivot and move other places, right? Because all you need is internet. I'm going to pick 1 month. I'll get an Airbnb, and when you pay for an Airbnb for a month, it's cheaper than when you do day to day. So I want to just every year pick a place, stay there for a month and like learn the land, right? Get in contact with people, make friends in other places, and kind of open up this pool, right? Because you know how like on social media people are like, oh, this dating pool has piss in it, right? And I think it's based.
I've never heard that.
You never heard of it?
No.
It's going around. I've been seeing a meme.
Okay.
But it's really perspective, right? We date within our comfort, right? So if your friend linked you with another person, that is like the small, pond that you're fishing in. So for me, my networking is going to open up like from month to month. Like every time I spend a month in a new place, my network will open up. I'll at least have a plug to a venue. I'll at least have a plug to a friend that lives somewhere, whether I can go visit or however that goes. And then it's kind of like the creative Underground Railroad. Like, hey, yo, we're gonna be in Denver. I just put together an event. Let me call the homies from Jersey and let's go pull up. Yo, I'm in LA. Let's go pull up. You know what I mean? I got an opportunity to collab with somebody over there. Let's go pull up.
Right.
And then when it's time, when I get back home, the big idea is to get our own space and then get those people from all over to come to Jersey.
I think that's the beauty too, like circling back to social media, how a lot of people that I've met and connected with for certain events have been through social media.
Right.
So it's like, if you use it to your advantage,
Amazing.
then amazing things can happen. But if not, then we're just gonna keep getting consumed with it and everything. So those are all of my questions related to this topic. I do have a basket of just some random questions. Nothing too crazy. So if you want to pick one and then you can answer.
Everybody does that first.
Everybody.
Try to get like a mix,
Yeah, right.
And then, are you reading this? Am I reading it?
You can read it.
What do you want people to say at your funeral? Jesus Christ. I don't know. I don't think I want them to say anything, man. Just come up, pull up. I want you to give me my roses and my flowers currently.
Yeah.
Like, I want us to be able to speak life over each other, right? And not during death. So I don't want them to say that. Pull up, give my mom some love, make sure my mom good. But other than that, you don't have to say much.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, all right.
What about you?
Okay.
So that's the next question.
It is a crazy question. What do I want people to say at my funeral? I also do agree that like I want you to tell me how you feel about me now and not wait until I pass. But some of the things I would, or I'll get into like what legacy do I want to leave behind, is I really want people to believe that I poured into as many people as I could.
Right.
Like, words of affirmation is my top love language, to receive, but also to give. Like, I really believe that people don't hear enough how amazing they are and how, beautiful they are and how inspiring they are. So, like, I just want people to be like, yeah, like, every time I saw her, she was always really, like, positive, or, she always would, like, gas me up, or, something like that. So that, and I don't want it to be a question that I was myself. Like, I want it to be very, very, very clear that I was 100% me, and I turned myself inside out. Like, y'all gonna get everything that's in here on like up here, here. So I just want people to like, I want to be me. That's really like what I want people to say and to receive as well, I would say. So yeah, but then, all right, so then I guess we got to give flowers now. I feel like now, dang. I feel very called to do this right now, so that's why we are running with it. Yeah, like
I got flowers. Listen, man, I got a whole bouquet of flowers for you. Yeah.
Oh, goddamn. Okay. I'm feeling a little emotional, so please chill on. But anyway, like, I feel like I tell you this whenever I see you, but just like, okay, so in therapy, my therapist always talks about having a board of trusted advisors, those who you will go to when like you really want advice on something. And like, you were one of the first people that came to mind when I thought about that, because I really value your opinion a lot. I value your energy. The energy that you bring to people is just like, I don't know how many people really tell you how important you are, but also the things that you do. So like, you came here, like you drove for me like almost 2 hours to, fuck with me on this show. And it's like, I really appreciate you for doing that. Always for pouring into me. Mitch, you also are one of the main people who are just like, I see you.
Right.
Like, I see you for who you are today, but also for who you are in 10, 20 years as well. So, like, I haven't experienced that kind of, like, true love. So thank you.
Right.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate hearing it. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
It keeps me grounded, like back on the floor,
Yeah. Don't feel obligated to.
No, I already got flowers. So I'm only speaking in the future now. It's over for this present nonsense. The growth from me first meeting you to current day, it is the same trajectory, right? You never kind of backed off of it. You get scared of it, of course, it's always going to be that, right?
Yeah.
We always get scared of like the unknown and how to get to the destination, right? For you, the trajectory you're on and the spaces that you're in and kind of where you fall and the ideas that you implement are growing and they're getting better. And you have to get behind yourself, right? Because I see it like the jokes I made first. Like we need our Oprahs, right? We need those people that are going to tell the stories or give the opportunity for stories to be told. We need the people that document, right? We need those people, right? And it's not explained to us. You go to school for journalism or communications, they don't tell you the need for documentation for history purposes and all that stuff. So when I bump into you, right, and I'm not even putting one specific title on you, it's kind of freedom to kind of go crazy, And I see that already. I see it happening. I see every time when it's time for production, it's like, I got this thing. Even when we was in somebody's living room, I don't even remember whose house that was. Yes, came back from college. You know what I mean? And you understood. You understood, I guess, you understood the job, right? You understood what you had to do at that time. And when I was in college, freshman, sophomore year, I didn't grab those things like that. And the fact that you were already in college kind of with a good understanding of like, this is what we're doing, you're good, man. And like, just get in the driver's seat. Sometimes you like, oh, I'm gonna go 10 miles per hour before that shit. Cut the brake line. Like, there's no purpose in hitting the brakes for real right now.
Wow.
But that's my flowers for.
Received. Received. Now that definitely goes a part of conversations that you and I have all the time about just like, nah, like this is go time. So right. Affirmed, received, appreciated. Goddamn. Goddamn. Okay. Next. God bless my computer didn't break. So the next thing is that I have each guest choose a kind task to do, just in the spirit of giving back, of paying it forward. I am choosing from a list from the brand Live Life Nice. So shout out to Christian Crosby and that brand. And that is from just his challenge. It's the Be Nice, Do Nice challenge, where they are inspiring 100,000 acts of nice. Yes. So it's really dope. So on that note, pick a number between 1 and 500.
26.
I love how quick y'all all be. Like, got it.
Yeah, those are my life numbers. I'm never going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
26.
26 January, right?
Yeah. Yep. Look,
Yeah. Period. So interestingly enough, this one is buy school supplies to donate to school. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is why I pick my numbers, because I know it's already happening. You know what I'm saying? We giving out grants this year. We going crazy this year. So I'm glad that's even that's just reaffirming that I need to be doing what I'm doing.
And that you're very much on the right path already.
Yes.
Dang. Okay. So tell the people where they can find you and what they can expect next.
You can find me on social medias, Nigerian_Mitch. Mitch for marketing is like the moniker. I don't know. I've been thinking about changing it.
Okay.
And you could DM me too. I'm not one of those people that are like just using social media for followers. I'm on Facebook. I don't know if you want to follow me there. I don't know if people use that. I do. I still love Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, it's a great place.
Okay.
Twitter, Nigerian_Mitch. Once again, just follow me. Show me love. I got some events coming up in the fall. I have the Social Beer Club, which is a beer pairing where we get sponsorships from different breweries, and we pair them with different artists, musicians, well, artists of all types, and other businesses and stuff, like small businesses. So we do like chefs, we do like food pairings with the beer. We do, business networking. I think the first one we're going to do is Beats Burgers and Beers, which is going to be like the kickoff. And we got a few local breweries coming. And then in the winter, we're doing Saturday night dinner party. So I've been trying to like streamline my stuff. So that's pretty much it.
Okay.
So,
it's a lot. There's going to be a lot going on.
Working.
Yeah. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
I got a lot, but everybody doing it in Jersey and Philly and wherever you at, regionally and locally, the clothing lines that are killing it, the musicians that are trying and repositioning and rebranding and finding the opportunities. I just want to give a shout out to everybody that has like got through COVID and like did some self work. That's it. That's what my shout outs for. And a big shout out is, come on, man. Come on. We doing the work here, man. Look, this is it right here. Shout out to D-Ray on the camera too. He's holding it down.
Very much so. Okay. Final words for the people or questions for myself?
Final words, sacrifice until infinity to succeed, man. That's it. No.
But yeah, wow.
You already know the vibes.
Dang, Mitch, that, I needed all of that. I didn't know I needed all of that, so thank you. Thank you for that. And y'all, with that said, we are done. We're done and we're wrapping up this season. So one, thank y'all so much if you have made it this far into the episode. I appreciate you a lot. You spent damn near an hour, if not more, with me, and I know that time you are not going to get back. So thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful for you so much. Thank you so much, okay? So with that said, we out. That's a wrap. Please go out there and do something your future self will thank you for and your past self will love you for. Peace.
I always post, what's this kid's name? Rennie. He has this, he's a comedian.
Reggie?
Rennie.
It's Rennie.
Yeah.
I know you're talking about.
Yeah, he did. He's like, no, he's football. No. Don't tuck it in. Leave it out. Just like that. He crazy.
He be dead serious.
No, he be so serious.
Yo, your feedback means the absolute world to me. I would love to hear about how you felt about this episode. Leave your comments below, shoot me a DM. I want to know. I really want to know how you feel about this. Also, if there is a certain topic that you want us to talk about, if there are certain questions that you want me to ask, please let me know. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at @itfrozegolden or in the email at info@rosexgolden.com. Information will be below, so no worries on that, okay? Thank you so much. I love you.